Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. Well, last time, we put together a team and began exploring our first dungeon, including a vicious fight that we won using some cunning ambush tactics, though, speaking of which, John, your team's a tiny bit, wounded. How about taking, yes, a lovely short rest, just so we're back up to tip-top shape? Lovely. And today, right, step 1, we want to finish ransacking this here dungeon, because we have now infiltrated the dank crypt. As we've already seen, yeah, there's treasure chests down here, all sorts of exciting, sexy loot, so, okay. Step 1, let's finish off of that business, though, yeah, it's not going to be as easy as just walking in. Some of this dungeon is locked up. But that's fine. This is why we bring Astarion along. He is very good at lockpicking. So yeah, right-click on door, there's lockpicking. Surely, Astarion, you could just get this done nice and easy. Oh yeah, difficulty 10 with Thieves' Tools, Dexterity, Sleight of Hand, Expertise. Also, have some extra guidance, because Shadowheart just stands behind everyone, telling them how to do their job, which is beautiful. And I could give him a Bardic Inspiration, but let's not worry about that for now. Okay, critical success. Though I'm not sure how you, critically succeed beyond just opening the lock, but whatever. And as a result, this area is now open to us. Beautiful. So, okay. Once again, step 1, just turn on all the lights so it's nice and lit up here. Including, yeah, some of these are way up out of the way. That's fine. Toss a fireball at them. I want this area beautifully lit up, please. Oh, and hello, sexy. While I was just, yes, working on cracking open another locked chest here, we got our first critical failure. So, yeah, doesn't matter how many bonuses you've got, critical failure is a critical failure. However, using the inspirations that we got outside by lying to that guy at the door, we can try again. So, yeah, just reattempt that is fine. And this time, though we were under 12, with all the bonuses, we easily get to the required amount, and the chest opens. Lovely. So yeah, that's why role-playing's important. It gets you inspirations if you play along with your character. And inspirations save you from failed dice rolls. Right, that's every single light turned on, and you've got to say, that makes the whole thing a lot more warm and nice to explore, though, yes. There's a lot of skeletons on the floor, and my brain is telling me, from the time I played this back in early access, potentially we're not getting out of this room without a fight. But we're rested up. We've still got some spell slots. You know what, Gale? Top up yours, please. Just give yourself a little bit more in the way of spells. And there we go. He's back up to maximum spell slot. Sadly, no one else can do that. That's just a wizard trick. And Arya and Shadowheart have still got, yeah, 1 each as well. Not Astarion, though, because he doesn't do spells. He just stabs people. Right, mosey on down into the open area here.
Jurgle. I didn't think anyone worshipped the Scribe of the Dead.
And apparently this is Jurgle, Scribe of the Dead, and, I mean, a big skeleton with a giant scroll and, a pen and whatnot. That's pretty cool, and also explains the obituaries in the other room, literally writing down the names of the dead. So, right. Keep on keeping on over in this direction. And I'm pretty sure, there we go, a button. Yeah, my brain is currently flashing warning lights at me. This is basically as far as I really ever got in this game. And, I feel like potentially, yes, we're about to run into some trouble. So, push the button. So that opens up the secret door. However, right, the skeletons have decided to come and say hi. Luckily, I've got a plan to deal with you guys. Shadowheart, your entire thing is dealing with the undead. So when the time is right, you can use your special channel divinity to... Oh, wow! That has got a big old radius on it, yes. We just want Shadowheart to run out into the middle of the room and hit as many enemies as she can with that. So, okay. That does not require a spell slot. We're also walking into, yes, maybe a bit of a dangerous situation right now. So how about the starting point? We bless a few people. Specifically, anyone who's going to be on the front line. So, yeah. Bless Astarion, bless Arya, and bless yourself. Though you are concentrating, so if someone whacks you, yeah, there could potentially be trouble as a result of that. So, yeah, I'm going to say move forward, maybe just, like, hang out here, so you're not entirely in range of these people over on this side. That's fine. And, yeah, there's not much you could do with your bonus action right now. So, okay. Astarion, best thing you could do is probably get up top. Then maybe just do, yeah, well, then again, actually, if you could, no, John, you've lit up the area. If I hadn't lit up the area, he could probably hide and then maybe get a sneak attack in. But he probably can't anymore, so, gosh darn it, you're not quite able to get that attack in. But you can shoot over here. Okay, 75% thanks to Bless and also High Ground. So, that's pretty good. In fact, actually, hang on. With advantage, let's have advantage against target. I mean, I just did, but okay, maybe look into that because I'm not sure how that works or doesn't work. But yeah, hit that guy. He's level 3. That was a critical miss. Astarion, you've let me down, my friend. I'm going to at least attempt to hide.
Time for a new
and he just got away with it. So, right, maybe I should have hidden first. Okay, gotcha. Okay, Arya. How about you attempt, yes, Tasha's vicious laughter, or whatever it is. 65% chance we can just take this guy out of the fight before he starts advancing, because he's the dangerous one, and there we go. You are now down on the ground laughing for the time being, but he could recover from that later. So yeah, just keep moving forward. Gale, you're at the rear. So, what's the best thing to do with you? Probably just get you up on the high ground, given you're the only one who's not been blessed. So, for the time being, can you even get on the high ground right now? No. Yeah, just dash. Dash with Gale, move up onto the high ground. We'll do something more exciting and sexy with you next turn. That's A-okay. Now, speaking of which, we've got people at the back here. You're dashing so you can't attack. That's fine. No one who's too far away. In fact, if everyone ends up, yeah, close together, you've got a staff, so you're probably... Right, fog cloud. So I can't see inside that. There's another fog cloud. So yeah, I've got to move out of the fog cloud to do anything. You skip your turn because of the laughter. So yeah, that's... Oh! That's actual damage right there, but also potentially some ice on the ground. You, however, are, well... Are you still hidden right now? You may or may not be, but you've still got a 95% chance against that guy. So right, that's a good start right there. And then, yeah, just start moving out of the smoke towards this chappie. In fact, you know what? Go over to melee weapon, activate bonus dash, and then just walk up to him. Because then if he tries to step away from you, you can just stab him with opportunity, which is fine. So, right. I think I'm currently standing on ice, aren't I? I just can't necessarily see the ice. So, yeah. Jump up to here. This is not in the fog. It's like between two different fogs. And that means, yeah, thanks to Blast, I've got some really good chances to hit here. So, yeah, Ray of Frost just to put a bit of ice under your feet. So if we're lucky, maybe you'll, like, fall over or something. Oh, except hang on, is that not how Ray of Frost works? No, I think actually just slows him down. It doesn't actually create ice. That was Ice Knife that we saw outside. So, okay, don't worry about that for now. Move on to Shadowheart. This is your big moment right here. The problem is, I think there might be some ice somewhere in here, or maybe not. Maybe I'm making that up. You just move forward as far as you can, out of the fog, and then activate your... Oh yeah, oh flippin' yeah. Activate Turn Undead. And... It turns out Shadowheart's a very bad cleric. All the undead were like, nah, I don't feel like being turned away. That's fine, no trouble at all. Right, Gale moves out of the fog too. What else can we do with you, my friend? There is sleep. So, yeah, creatures fall asleep up to a combined 24 hit points. So, okay. You've got 9. So, oh, doesn't work on undead. You know what? That's reasonable. Can't put the undead to sleep. That's perfectly fair. What we can do, though, is, use a big thunder wave to potentially send this guy flying, and it won't impact Astarion because of, my specialization. So, something just exploded. Does anyone know what just exploded? Something just exploded. No idea what. So, okay, time for the skeletons to do their business. So, you run away. Okay, so these guys do nothing but fog cloud, which is not really that dangerous. You've silenced the Shadowheart, so she can't spellcast. Honestly, I'm not sure she had any spell slots remaining anyway, so that's fine. Ray of Frost does not much to that guy. And then you are still stuck on the ground. So yeah, Tasha's Laughter, that's been doing the job, damn it. But most of these guys aren't really, like, doing any damage, to be honest. So, yeah, get over to here. Out of the fog, please. Just attack this guy. 95%. Beautiful. Are you dead? You're dead. And then... actually, you know what? If I... no. I don't actually have a bonus action available right now. I was about to say, could I sprint over to that guy? But no, not even close. Okay, given these guys are just trying to run away from me, yeah, a lovely ray of frost, if I could, might be useful against them, though there's a pillar annoyingly in the way. So, right, just move forward a little bit, just into a position where you've actually got a shot. There's so many cocking of fog clouds and everything, I can't get into a position to actually do anything. So yeah, how about we just, hit this guy with some ice to slow him down. Critical hit, very nice. And he's still not got up either. So, right, you're silenced, meaning you can't spellcast, but you can still whack things with a big stick. So, honestly, I'm going to say that's a-okay. Out of the frost, into the mega attack. Okay, now that was a good solid amount of damage, but he's finally woken up. Because, yes, every time he gets attacked, he gets to roll to escape the laughter, which he finally has done. But I'm not sure we can actually... Gosh darn, so I was hoping we could, like, push him up onto the high ground, which would have been hilarious. So, Gale, is there any chance you can, like, finish this guy off before he actually gets to, like, do anything? Just, like, one quick fireball and... hang on, just need to get into the right position. There's so much cocking of fog around. No, literally can't get into the right position. So, right. You are just running away and... critical miss. Yeah, your Ray of Frost is really not doing much damage. Are you just a fog cloud person? No, you're Ray of Frosting too, and it's actually starting to sting a bit, actually. You finally woken up. You get yourself silenced, then try to toss a stone. Then don't get opportunity attacked because you didn't walk far enough away. But okay, now Astarion can start shredding these bastards. So, step one, charge in, standard attack. And if we hit, that may well be a kill. 7 damage, beautiful. So then what we do is, gosh darn it, I can't quite get into range, though. John, I think you're dual wielding by default. That's why your bonus attack's being burnt. I should turn that off. So, like, he just attacks with one sword, unless I tell him otherwise. Right, I think I figured out what went wrong there, then. Now, Arya is in a spot of trouble, I'll admit, but yeah, if we just get her up onto the high ground here, just start weakening some of these guys. If we're lucky, that could be as much as 10 damage. That breaks his silence, though it wasn't really doing much anyway, to be honest. We can also give someone a little bit of inspiration. Astarion, there you go. Good work, my friends. I'll give you, though, this entombed warrior is proving difficult to actually put down. 55 chance there. 8 damage! Very good. You got very cocky lucky there. Well done, Shadowheart. Good accuracy and damage roll. So, right. Now just start moving towards this loser. I think now, yeah, we're just mopping up the last few. One more firebolt from Gale. You go down. Excellent damage roll there. Spot on. So yeah, just one person left here. Gets hit with opportunity, but manages to survive it. One more Ray of Frost, meaning Arya is actually down. But that's fine. She's going to start, like, rolling to not die. We can just get her back up on her feet, so it's not really a problem. Don't worry about it. Probably, yes, better we just go in and attack this guy. Though, yeah, single attack. So we just go in with my main sword, and then we could, if we wanted to, follow up with the spare attack. But we don't need to on this occasion. Could someone help up Arya, by the way? Thank you, much appreciated. Tragically, nothing good on any of these warriors. So, right. In which case, just mosey over in this direction to, yes, the room at the end of the tomb that we were after this entire time. Because, one, we've got a big old chest here, which is lovely, and... speak with dead. That is earlier than I was expecting to be able to do that. Beautiful. Right, well, that's going straight on Aria. From now on, we can chat to corpses as well as animals. However, much more importantly...
Here lies the guardian of tombs. Through knowledge comes atonement.
Alright, the Guardian of Tombs. That's not going to stop us ransacking it, of course.
So he has spoken, and so thou standest before me. Right, as always. What a curious way to awaken. Now, I have a question for thee. What is the worth of a single mortal's life?
I mean, I was about to come up with a number, but I've just been killing people all day for basically no reward whatsoever. Like, 1 health potion, that'd do it. Though apparently, yes, I'm sufficiently surprised I'm not even able to answer the question just yet. So, yeah, tiny bit confused by the whole zombie thing. What precisely are you, my friends?
I am not the same as those thou hast slain, if that is what thou askest. Wilt thou answer my question?
And go on then, why not though? No, do not attack. Withers is a friend, damn it.
So, I ask again, what is the worth of a single mortal life?
And okay, oh. As a tiefling, could say in my experience that depends on what the mortal looks like. Okay, not sure what that refers to. I'm guessing a yes. We might dig into that more as time goes by. Only life that matters is mine. Each life is of infinite value. Life's only value is as currency. Doesn't matter to me otherwise. Depends on the person's deeds. That seems like a safe answer.
I am sure thou believest as such. Very well. I am satisfied. We have met, and I know thy face. We will see each other again at the proper time and place. Farewell.
Jess, when I said previously that this game very happily gives you the ability to respec your character to undo any mistakes very early on, it's him. It's that guy, right there. As I say, this game is very, very generous when it comes to letting you experiment with different builds. Now, unfortunately, yeah, I'm now out of short rests, because I've used 2 of those already. So I can't have any more until I use a long rest to recharge those. But I would rather finish this dungeon first, if I can. So yeah, given I'm swimming in potions right now, Aria, you start for 1 potion just to keep you going for the minute. Because yeah, I feel like we've taken out, like, the big main threat in this dungeon. All we need to do now is, yeah, check the various little side rooms and whatnot, and thank you for demonstrating that there's one right here with us. Very helpful.
Looks like someone wanted to bury their secrets.
And okay, I think I may have just passed a check there indicating a book. The Book of a Dead God, so... okay. We were told, yeah, this place is like where they write down the name of dead people. What was this guy's name? Jurgle, I think Shadowheart said. So, I mean, in theory, you could bury dead gods here as well. In fact, oh! Withers. Is that by any chance why you're here? Were you like a dead god and that's why you're buried in... oh! That's an interesting theory. Right, have a look-see at the book.
This book is far lighter than it should be with such a massive log.
Okay, so Arcana, Strength, or Sorcerer and Charisma, must your will channel a surge of magic through the lock. Well, logically, yeah, based on what we just heard, this isn't a regular lock, it's a magical lock, so smashing it probably is going to be quite difficult. Magic's the intended solution, so give that a go. Just a 10, and we can add a guidance onto that. No need to use Tides of Chaos. Hopefully we can pass this without any of that business, and kind of depends on what we get from... Oh, Shadowheart, you just pushed us over the line there. Well done. Okay, little burst of magic.
As the lock opens, weak magic pulses from the book. Such a waste, binding it to dry, dead parchment. What was once script is now an obliterated scrawl. You have a sense these are names, a list. But of what?
Okay. Religion. That's not something I'm particularly good at, but I'll get like a +1, and with Shadowheart's assistance, yeah, we'll give it a go. So yeah, we've got guidance, we've got intelligence. If I wanted to, I could toss on a Tides of Chaos, so... You know what? Sure. This is what it's for. But yeah, now I won't have another Tides of Chaos available until such time as I take some sort of rest. So, right, pop that in, and... turned out to not be necessary, dear oh flipping dear.
Gods. These are the names of gods, once lost but now restored after the Second Sundering. The last 3 names in this book sit close together, but are so devastated by the scrawl as to be unreadable. Entire pantheons have dwindled and been reborn, silently recorded by this book.
Okay, so, well, one, we just got inspiration out of that, so, yeah. Even though Gale didn't do that, it was a thing Gale liked, so... And Shadowheart too, brilliant. So, yes, that was like an intellectual religious thing. So, Shadowheart likes that it was religious, Gale likes it was intellectual, so both of them pick up an inspiration. And also, I think that may have been, like, a double skill check there. So, like, primarily it was a religion skill check, but then there was, like, an extra tiny skill check on the end, where I noted that, yeah, the final 3 was stricken throw. 3 gods that were, like, deliberately removed from this book. Why do we get the feeling that, yes, one of those might be with us? I feel like potentially we're learning important stuff here that might make a lot more sense down the line. Still, for now, just start cracking open. Sorry, you're locked, Astarion. This one's on you again. Oh, you know what? This one's getting a bit nastier. DC of 15 on this occasion. That's fine. Toss in a guidance. You have got a ridiculous number of, you know, things you can add onto your roll. So, never mind. You didn't even need the ridiculous number of things, but I do enjoy just watching dice rolls double from 10 million sources. That's deeply enjoyable. Honestly, that loot is somewhat underwhelming for, yes, how difficult the lot was, but just add it to Arya's pile of stuff, I suppose. And most importantly, do not forget to loot corpses, so... Soul Coin. Strange incomprehensible whispers emanate from the coin, pervading your mind with a rage and despair. Can be used to power infernal engines. Okay. So presumably, somewhere inside this dungeon, there's like an infernal engine. Insert coin into it and something happens. On top of that, yeah, we've got a decent little ring and a bone. I'm taking the bone along with everything else.
A strange coin. I wonder what it's worth.
Someone's just commented on, yeah, the coin too, just to draw attention to it. So, okay. Eyes open. Potentially, yeah, that coin might be significant somewhere in this dungeon. Keep an eye out for somewhere to insert that. Because I'm pretty sure back the way we came, yeah, this is where we started, there was another door on this side. So, crack you open, buddy. More lights to turn on, though. Basically, almost just walked into a trap right there. So there's events that we've now detected, but... Okay, hang on. traps are different from locks, aren't they? We picked up something related to this. Here we go, a trap disarm toolkit. So, okay, that should definitely go over to Astarion, because a crucial question, do I get XP for, like, disarming traps? Because if so, that could be a very good thing to do, just like, you know, get a little bit of XP going on. So yeah, may as well toss in guidance, no reason not to. This should be simplicity itself, because I'm deeply concerned that, yes, critically failing a trap might mean the trap goes off. Let's just try again using that new inspiration we just got. This time, don't fail miserably. Much better, because with all your bonuses, that's an easy pass. So okay, that's now been, like, disabled. Is that worth... No, that's not worth XP. So yeah, it's not worth, like, going around disabling every trap in the world. If there's one trap, though, that means there's probably more. To detect them, I need to pass, yeah, a perception check. So, Shadowheart and Astarion have both got a +3 perception. Astarion because, yeah, he's taken a proficiency in it. Shadowheart because it's a wisdom skill, and she's just good at wisdom. So yeah, 2 + 3 strikes me as pretty good. Presumably that means, yeah, we should be decent at spotting traps. But under the circumstances, yeah, Astarion, you're leading. And... okay, there's something nearby to us, but you've just failed to detect it. Shadowheart, could you step forward? Maybe, like, give that a go, please.
Just keep going.
So just keep on keeping on, and... it's deeply concerning that my two most perceptive people have failed miserably to spot a trap. Very, very concerning, actually.
A trap. Someone doesn't like visitors.
Oh, hang on. More vents detected. Okay, question is, once we know about a vent, does that mean everyone in the party knows about the vent, so they just won't walk on it? I'm gonna regret this, but... yeah, everyone's avoiding it. Okay. Everyone's just avoiding these here traps because they know about them. So, right, once a trap's detected, you don't need to, like, carefully direct people around the traps. There's also a button, which concerns me a bit, because... is that going to turn the traps on, or turn them off if they're already on? I'm just going to push the button. And... there was just an ominous noise. Pushed again. That sounded like something being armed to me. I don't know whether the traps are currently active or not. So, okay, everything's probably fine here. We've got a sarcophagus, and there are traps. So if I want to loot the sarcophagus, probably best we disarm the trap. So you just get over there and... immediately detecting more traps. This is the important one. Okay, so just add a whole bunch of bonuses. It's only, yeah, difficulty class of 10. 17, nice and easy. So yeah, that one is now not active. Good. So yeah, literally explodes. Meaning we could crack this open and get, oh, heavy armor. Which would be good if, like, Lae'zel was here. But I don't think any of us can wear heavy armor. Oh, Warpick's nice, though. That's, yeah, 1d8 plus presumably strength, because Astarion would be terrible with it, but only because he's, you know, not very strong. But that might be good for Shadowheart, actually. So right, take all that. You can loot as long as the local traps have been taken out. And yes, while Shadowheart can wear the heavy armor, she's not proficient in it, so as a result it's not necessarily that good for her. So yeah, let's put her back in her original armor, but when we get Lae'zel back, she might enjoy that. Oh yeah, that Warpick's pretty good. It does as much damage as the big spiky stick that we gave to Shadowheart previously, but it's only one-handed, not two. Meaning, as a result of that, yeah, Shadowheart can have her shield back and she goes back up to AC 16, making her a much better frontliner. And technically, on the other side of the room, I've not detected a trap here. But there were traps here and here on this side, so I'm just going to assume there is a trap here. And yeah, stay away from that. So, everybody over... No, Shadowheart, not over there.
Going ahead.
Loop in this direction.
Trap.
And right, more traps, so that's fine. We've got to deal with you guys as well. Everybody just mosey in this direction. Detect all these guys. The question is, yeah, is the sarcophagus actually, like, trapped up or not? Because I was going to try opening this. That is Warhammer. A D10. Oh, well, lardy flipping da will be having that, absolutely. And I'm not immediately being sprayed with, like, acid or anything. So, right. These things possibly aren't... Another soul coin. It's a nice ring and another shield too. Good. Never going to say no to another shield because, yeah, like we were saying previously, just because he's human, Gale could use a shield just for 2-3 AC. So why not, I suppose? Right. Keep on lighting up the room because... in theory, a better lit room, it might be easier to detect traps. That strikes me as the sort of thing that seems feasible. Whole bunch of potions, special arrows, la-di-da. That could go to, yes, Astarion, beautiful. Smoke powder, oh. That's a pretty good bomb, actually. Love it. So, yeah, disarm traps, it goes to Astarion too. Just send a torch to Leica myself, that's fine. I'll take the grenade. And yeah, I'll take the flipping potions too. So right, just distribute the loot properly. And we've got one ancient door here, that's locked. So right, Astarion, you know what to do. And just use all my bonuses. Beautiful. So right, open up that. And that is... It's not a door, that's a load zone. And... right, we're back down at the beach where we started. That's the door we saw right at the start. Got it. Right, back in though, we're not quite done yet. One skeleton and a sarcophagus, which might contain treasure or might contain a boss skeleton. But hopefully they... Uh-oh, wait, whoa, okay, oh, no, oh dear, and... It turns out we hadn't turned off all the traps, or possibly they reset when I left and came back in. Okay, this time... Try pushing the button again. Okay, that sounds positive. Now try opening the sarcophagus. No, push the button, 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 push the button. Okay, so a lot of people are, like, on fire at the minute, but now continue opening the... You know what? This is fine. This is all A-okay, because... ultimately, we did get the sarcophagus open. And no one's actually dead. So, right, that gets me a key. But I'm not 100% sure where that key would go. Like, maybe it's the door that leads back out the front. But, yeah, every chest we've seen so far, we've just been able to open with Astarion. Maybe it would have just let me, you know, bypass all the lockpick checks. Still, this is exciting. We've got our first, like, you know, magic enchanted weapon. So this is 1d8 and comes with a Death's Promise. If it misses, the wielder's next attack roll gains True Strike. So, right, if you miss, advantage on the next attack. That's not bad, you know. I mean, it's better than nothing. The problem is, it's a spear. Does anyone here actually know how to use spears? Because, oh... spears are officially a simple weapon, and also a versatile one, which means, yeah, it could be used with one hand or two. But it does appear to be, yeah, a strength weapon, because it's not tagged with finesse. In which case, we're going to give that straight to Shadowheart, because, yeah, while she's not completely strengthy, she's got more strength than anyone else does right now. And yeah, the weapon can be used one-handed, though... oh, hang on. If we took the shield away from you, though, yeah, then it does damage 2 to 9, going down to 2 to 7 one-handed. So, right, you can give up the shield for a bit more damage. Right, I see what that means. It's 1d8 plus bonus if two-handed, 1d6 plus bonus if one-handed. Ah, hang on. The key's description says, black ink stains blots the key. I bet that opens that book we found. So yeah, if you can't open it with skill checks, the key opens that book. So I would suggest that book is potentially important for some reason.
Ready and willing.
You know what, Gale? How about we just go and, like, grab that book, just in case it becomes, like, relevant later and we want to double-check it. But yes, I feel like now might be a good time to go back to camp and have a little rest and whatnot. Because the fact I'm in a dungeon doesn't seem to matter. You can just go to camp at any time you want to, and then you can just choose whether you want to rest or not. So yeah, just to click on the camp button and... oh, this is adorable. Because we were, like, inside a dungeon when we went to camp, as a result of that, yes, we've set up camp in the dungeon. In, like, a fictitious room that doesn't exist in this dungeon, that we just sort of found, somehow or another. So, right. This is our camp for the time being, but, like, you know, there might be different camps for different locations. So, right, whenever I'm ready to, end the day, and then we can spend the resources we stole from those bandits to have a proper long rest and refill everything. Health, spell slots, short rest, all of it. Before we do, though, yeah, let's go say hi to all our companions here. So, let's start with, yes, Gale. Gale's my favourite immediately, so we're going to chat to him.
You're not versed in magic, are you?
Okay, that's cocking rude. I'm actually very magical, possibly twice as magical as you, because you are just one sort of magical class, a wizard. I am both sorcerer and bard. Gale just got shuffled right off the top of the to-be romance list. Okay, the fact the first thing he says to me is, you're not very good at magic, are you? I'm quite frankly offended, Gale.
Oh, I do apologise. I meant to ask, are you studied in magic? Namely, are you a wizard? Which you are not. If you meet any elder wizards, let me know. There is a matter I'd like to seek advice on from a master.
Okay, never mind. He just went back up to the top of the list, because as it turns out, he was just being very snooty, because he's been to Wizard University, and I haven't. So, okay, well, me and you can be friends. And okay, if we run into wizards, let Gale know, or possibly bring him along. He might have something to speak to them about.
What's on your mind?
So right, that was like a specific thing that popped up immediately. Now presumably this is more generic dialogue, so yeah, I can dismiss him so he could bring someone else along, or just like generic chatter about himself.
Let's see. I hail from Waterdeep, City of Splendors. I am a wizard of considerable acclaim and scholar of exceptional accomplishment. I have a cat, a library, and a weakness for a good glass of wine. And if the mood takes me, I'm known to try my hand at poetry. There.
Okay, but could we maybe, like, meet your cat? Like, you could teleport your cat here, we could all pet your cat. That would be delightful. Though, yeah, if you're, like, you know, a serious, accomplished wizard and whatnot, you must have all sorts of exciting, sexy, magical stories to tell.
Didn't that paint enough of a picture?
And okay. Seems like he doesn't want to answer, and no, we're not going to, like, peer into his mind with wisdom. That is definitely, like, a bad thing we shouldn't do to our new friends. So change the subject, and right, that's all we've got from him for the time being. So, right, you speak to someone in camp, they might say something special, then it goes into presumably the same dialogue that you would have out in the field. Also, Astarion, if you don't want us to know that you're a vampire yet, maybe don't have a large mirror in your tent.
So, we've picked up a wizard who managed to get stuck in his own portal. Hardly a promising introduction.
You know what? That's a fair criticism right there. So, okay, once again, tell me about yourself, my friends.
Oh, what's to tell? I'm a magistrate back in the city. It's all rather tedious.
Right, and obviously he's lying, and we could tell he's lying because he's literally a charlatan like me. So me and him are just gonna lie to each other about a lot of stuff, got it? And finally, Shadowheart, with her brand new super awesome magic spear.
I've heard you can't get blood from a stone, but apparently you can get a wizard from one. Gale seems interesting.
Okay, so, that is true. Are you maybe willing to tell me something about your tragic backstory dodecahedron?
There's no story. None that you're entitled to hear, anyway. Just forget you ever saw it.
Right. She'll come back to us later, alright? Just give it 20 hours, she'll just potter up to me and be like, hey, just FYI, I've got a little sister, and she was lost 10 years ago, but I just got this letter, and as a result of that, me and my tragic backstory dodecahedron have to go to this location. Can we go pretty soon? If you do, maybe I'll be more loyal to you or something. Yeah, just wait. You'll be back, and when you are, you'll be bloody telling me all about your tragic backstory dodecahedron. And yes, given so far you've been a bit guarded, I'm guessing you're not going to be willing to open up that much yet.
Must we? No harm in a little mystery, don't you think?
Right. So I suspect, yes, till my relationship with these guys ticks up a tiny bit by me, like, you know, impressing them with my decisions or whatnot, they might stay a bit guarded. But yeah, let's just approach this pragmatically. If we know a bit about each other, we can rely on each other better.
Easier's often less interesting. Besides, we've plenty of reason to rely on each other already. You can't confide in just anyone about a monster in your head.
So okay, 100% she's just trying to change the subject, but I feel like, you know, if she's hiding stuff from me, she's got her own reasons, I'm not going to push her on it.
Thank you. I'm sure we'll get along perfectly well.
So alright, that gets me some reputation right there. So, just keep doing, like, you know, stuff Shadowheart approves of, and maybe, just maybe, she'll be willing to open up to us in future. Oh, and apparently, yes, there's more to this camp than I originally thought. So yes, there's like a couple of doors on the outskirts here, so, okay, lovely, creepy chapel with a giant ornamental piano, which delightfully makes, like, you know, little musical notes, if you just interact with it and whatnot, but I can't actually sit down and play it. I feel like as a bard I should be able to. Like, musical instruments are kind of my thing. Oh, and in the same room, right, we've got my traveller's chest, which is basically just my camp storage, and, yes, because this is like the deluxe edition of Baldur's Gate 3 or whatever, I am aware I've got like some bonus stuff in here, like a special fancy hat and whatnot, that I don't particularly care for, like, you know, special bonus gear you get just for buying the best version of a game. Like, sure, I could put on a really fancy cape right now, but I wouldn't have earned that cape, okay? So, no, I'm just going to be ignoring this stuff. This is, however, yes, a useful spot to just store all, say, these fish that we picked up right there. So, yeah, anytime you want to, just send a whole bunch of stuff to camp, and that stops clogging up your inventory. In fact, there's kind of no reason not just to store everything in camp, because you can just fast travel back to camp anytime you want to, then fast travel back to wherever you were. So, yeah, there's really not much point carrying a huge amount of stuff around with you. There we go, I've just cleaned up my inventory a bit, so it's no longer such a mess. So, most stuff has been sent back to camp, but, you know, I'm going to be keeping important plot stuff we might be needing later, handful of grenades, potions, and I feel like it's just in character that I refuse to give up the giant pile of gold or the various gems we've collected. Ari just keeps hold of those because that's what she's actually after. As for the other side of the room, meanwhile, okay, we've got a magic mirror. So right, if I want to, I can literally just change any part of my character, including, by the looks of it, my name, which is delightful. So, yeah, no need to worry if you want to make changes to your character down the line. And then there's my good friend Withers.
We meet again. As predicted, I shall be here in thy camp for whenever thou hast need of my services.
Right. And why don't you fill me in on precisely what those services are, my friends?
A mending of the threads between life and death. Should thou or any of thy compatriots perish, I will cleave soul to body once more.
So, number one, he could just bring people back from the dead, which is bloody useful. So yeah, if someone, like, you know, goes down in combat, that doesn't mean you need to, like, just automatically reload the last save. Withers can sort that out for you, no trouble whatsoever. Though he did mention a cost.
A matter of coin.
Right, 200 gold, and that's outrageous. That is not outrageous. He's literally bringing people back from the dead, but then again, I don't know how the economy in this fantasy universe works. Maybe that is very expensive by the standards of necromancy. And on top of that, yeah, 100 gold, we can just respec our character from the ground up. And I don't want to do that. Not for Arya anyway, though I'm going to be honest, there is one character I would consider for that. Shadowheart, who's currently, yes, a cleric, and came to me pre-built as a trickery domain cleric. And I'm going to be honest, I've not been particularly impressed with what the trickery domain brings to the table so far. Like, her general spells that any cleric gets, they're great. But yeah, the stuff she actually gets as the trickery domain, not so much. So, okay. Shadowheart, I think we're going to make a little bit of a change here. Oh, and while we're passing by, can you explain precisely why you're helping me, my friends?
Be assured, it is not by choice.
Okay, based on where we found him, I think he's like a dead god or something, who was in that weird book that Gale's now got, so... yes, indeed. Let's take Shadowheart back down to level 1 and rebuild her more to my liking. So, okay, we now just load her back into down by the river, one assumes. And yes, now if we wanted to, we could even say, you know what, I don't want her to be a cleric full stop. That's all absolutely fine. But no, being a cleric is A-okay, but we can also change, her cantrips now. So, obviously, guidance is staying. In fact, I'm going to make guidance her, first cantrip, because that's the important one. But on top of that, I'm not sure I'm really interested in resistance that much. Sacred Flame is fine. Oh no, this one seems good. Toll the Dead. I mean, a cantrip that could do up to 12 damage, but only if the targetee is, not at full health. But I tell you what, up to 8 damage is fine anyway, so, take that, because that's actually pretty bloody good damage right there. And then take Produce a Flame, so you make a small flame in your hand, and can either use it as a light, or toss it for fire damage. So basically that's a fireball, but with additional light. So, go on then, or why not, especially given... okay, that just stays until a long rest. You could just put that on and it stays there. That's not bad at all. But yes, let's talk about domains, because there are 8 different cocking types of clerics she could be. And determines various features and also spells she gets for free. And here's the thing. Because I'm playing on, hard mode right now, and I'm taking a lot of damage a lot of the time, I'm kind of tempted by life domain. So, at that point, she's basically going to be way more effective as a healer. So whenever she does healing magic, she does even more healing than the spell would normally do, which is good. She gets to cure wounds for free, and she doesn't have to, spend spellbook capacity on that. That's A-okay. And she gets Bless, which is really good. So once again, that's just a space I don't need to be wasting on Bless in my spellbook. So, you know what? We'll give it a go and move her over to Life Domain, so she's more of a pure healer and whatnot. That doesn't mean she doesn't do damage, by the way. She's still got all of her regular spells, just the same as before. It's just, now she's going to be specialised towards healing. And speaking of which, okay, kind of looks like, the game's re-rolled her recommended stats for this particular type of cleric or something, because previously she was definitely 13-13. And I was thinking about maybe moving her more in a strength direction, given it kind of feels pointless to have dexterity and strength. So given we've got so many dexterity finesse people in the party, having a one more strong person strikes me as, potentially a good idea. If I just maybe, take charisma down to 10, then we can fund, strength up to 16. Then she's on a +3. So you know what? Sure, we'll give it a go and see how this works out. So, that's her back at level 1. Now we just level her up again. So there we go, straight up to level 2, because the entire party's level 2. So health goes up to 15. Beautiful. She does get Turn Undead again. Apparently that's for all clerics. But on top of that, she has got Preserve Life. Evoke a healing energy that restores your allies. So, right, that's her special divinity spell. She can use, once. But it looks like it heals, everybody or something. And prepare the spells. So we know she's got Bless and Summer Healing already. But let's take a bonus healing off Healing Word. Shield of Faith seems pretty good. Guiding Bolt seems pretty good. What else do we like, by the way? Command sounded good. We didn't really try that one yet. And then, either inflict wounds for loads of damage, or create or destroy water. Let's take that along and give it a go, sure. Oh, and I see how her new healing ability goes. she can just heal everyone in a big radius. So, okay. Plenty more healing available from Shadowheart these days. Spot on. Though, yes, everyone's still a bit lower on the old health. So, let's just go to bed, rest up, get our short rest and spell slots back. Oh, and hello, sexy. We just lit the fire and whatnot, but before we go to bed, Gale wants a word.
Go to hell.
Okay. Gale is normally very charming and effusive, but suddenly he's being a bit mopey and grumpy. What's going on, buddy?
Ha! You're a good sport. Go to hell. An everyday expression. So trivial it's almost meaningless. But we've seen hell. It's real. And it isn't trivial.
Okay. Have you got a tragic backstory going on or something?
Devils, dragons, mind flayers. They used to be abstracts. Pictures on a piece of paper. What a difference a day makes. Now we have tadpoles slithering through our heads like carnivorous feti. That's not abstract.
Ah. By any chance, yes. Have you spent a lot of time in a wizard university, and now you're out in the world, it's suddenly got a bit, real? Potentially, yeah, that's what's going on here. Okay, normally Gale seems pretty chirpy, so I'm going to be optimistic and say we're going to find someone who can help us and see how he responds to that.
That's the spirit. Let's be up with the lark. Find a healer before the wee one gets hungry.
Okay, I felt like that was the right thing to say to him, and... Never mind! Sorry, everyone wants to chat with me all of a sudden.
What were you two talking about?
Oh. The reason she suddenly wants to talk is... she's being a nosy. Okay. Why are you so curious about, yeah, me and Gale?
You and Gale.
Okay. I don't want to be rude. It wasn't really a secret, so... yeah, we were literally just discussing how tadpoles in brain bad. Maybe we fix that or something.
I see. I'd be careful with Gale.
Okay. And why would that be the case precisely?
He's a wizard. All they care about is power. Let's hope we rapidly find a healer. You seem reliable. I think you know how important it is that we find someone who can cure us. Best if we focus on that.
Okay. Shadowheart's being, you know, a little bit miserable to the rest of the party. When we first met her, she was very rude to Lae'zel as well, so... right, possibly she's just not one to trust others. But she's not wrong. Finding a doctor or something similar, that is our priority, absolutely.
Good. We might even get lucky and find one right away. As I see it, we're overdue some good fortune. Rest well.
Okay. The fact that, yeah, she was immediately suspicious of the fact I was having a conversation with someone else. Shadowheart's got some real cooking trust issues of some description, so... right, off to bed. Let's, like, you know, just have a nice night and... okay, there we go. We've got plenty of supplies, so fill them up, and because we can, we get a proper rest, all our hit points, all our spell slots, etc., etc. And then there's a big uniform sigh from everybody, which is delightful, so... right, there we go, much better. And yeah, we can just leave camp and go to precisely where we were when we entered camp, but I felt like we're kind of done with that dungeon anyway, so... yeah, go back to the roadside cliffs. That's where we want to go, I think. Because, yeah, this is where we met Gale. Beautiful. Because it looks to me like, yeah, we've kind of gone around the coast all in this direction. So, yeah, there's not really anywhere left to go aside from... oh! That cache we saw on the map is also in this direction. So, right. There's something up here. Very interesting. But yeah, if we just mosey northwards, that should take us in the right direction, though. Oh. Traps. Okay. Broken now, though. Not a real trap, but... okay. Just... be careful. Ready for... Smashed cage. Okay, I might be walking into something here. Be careful. Somebody was trying to trap something and... Okay, bloody hell, we finally found her.
Zoru was right. Yellow as a toad, twice as ugly.
The thing's dangerous. Leave it for the goblins to kill.
And if it escapes, how will you... Oh, a guest.
Your skull pounds in response to the prisoner's white-hot stare. Her lips don't move, yet you hear her voice.
Get rid of them.
Okay, so... I can, like, talk to her psychically, or alternatively, yeah, jump straight into trying to make these guys leave. And surely, Bard and Deception is the right way to go for me. So, you've caught a scout, the invasion force is right behind me, save yourselves, run, etc., etc. This feels halfway to performance, that's delightful. So, right, give that a go. Only a check of 10. I've got plenty of other things I can toss in as well. So yeah, this should be fine, and I can re-roll if need be. So yeah, just 1 is a-okay. And with all my bonuses, fine. Nice and easy. Beautiful.
Hells, this isn't worth it. I'm out of here.
Enough gawking. Get me down.
So, alright, I'm not going to make you say please. I feel like, yes, you're not up for that sort of thing right now. You've possibly been in that cage for, like, a day, because I just had a nice nap overnight. So, I'm really sorry about that. I was looking for you, I swear. So, right, they leave without trouble. That's fine. So, yeah, I guess we'd shoot this trapdoor. And... okay, we didn't break that. This is a very embarrassing rescue. One more, I swear we're going to get you down.
The tadpole hasn't yet scrambled all your senses. Auspicious. But the longer we wait, the more it consumes. My people possess the cure for this infection. I must find a creche. You will join me.
Careful. She obviously sees your kindness as weakness. Don't let her take advantage.
Okay, I have had enough, Shadowheart, of you being distrustful of everybody, because you were just saying to me last night, oh, we desperately need to find a solution to this tadpole problem, and we've just run into Lae'zel, who has said, hey, I've got a solution to the tadpole problem, here it is, we should go there, and if it's a Githyanki crash, and she's Githyanki, we're way more likely to get inside if she's with us, so... right. Tiefling... you're no friend to tieflings. Apparently there's, like, you know, some long-running unpleasantness between Githyanki and tieflings that I'm not aware of, but I'm guessing it's a big deal inside this fantasy universe, so, we're not gonna say that. I like Lae'zel, because she's good at bonking people with a big sword. So, yeah. Fill me in. What precisely is this creche thingy?
It is many things. A hatchery, a training grounds, a shelter.
Githyanki protocol is clear. When infected with a Gaith tadpole, we must report to Augustil for purification.
Okay, now this seems promising. There's an actual procedure. This species knows how to deal with flipping tadpoles. So, right, this is now plan A. This is a good thing to follow up on. So you are definitely welcome aboard.
You're full up. Dismiss someone first.
Okay, so, right, we can only have 3 companions. So, in which case, right, we'll go with Lae'zel and Astarion for now. So we've got 2 people who are good at bonking people with weapons, and me and Gale as the spellcasters. Then again, I want to actually try out, yeah, Shadowheart's new spells. So, Gale, you go have a rest. Me and Lae'zel will travel with the rest of the team.
Keeping your greatest weapon in reserve, eh? An excellent strategy.
Good. Our victory is most certain. You have made an ally from Kresh Kalir. Few know such fortune. Call me Lae'zel.
I'll trust your judgment, but I won't trust her. Not until I've gotten the measure of her.
You've a sharp tongue, elf. Would that your mind proved its equal.
Half elf. I suppose the finer details are lost on a creature like you.
Come. The Horned Ones mentioned a camp. One there, this Zoru, has seen Githyanki. A creche must be near. We will ask this Zoru where he has seen my kin.
Alright, we've got a flipping lead here, and... okay. Step 1, Lae'zel. You are floating around with, yes, a lot of spare weapons from the Nautiloids. Primarily, yeah, a big bunch of ranged weapons, so... honestly, yeah, let's just send most of them back to camp. That's fine for now. And yeah, she's already wearing armor class 15 heavy armor. The armor we got out of that dungeon was only 14. So, right, in fact, actually, that's heavy armor at 14. She's got 15 medium. So, right, that heavy armor's kind of trash. Got it. But yeah, I do feel like I would like to give the shield that we've got over to, yeah, Lae'zel. Because her longsword could be used one-handed to do, yeah, 4 to 11 or 4 to 13 two-handed. Honestly, I think AC of 18 is just too good to turn down. So yeah, you can have that shield. Right, then the path going this way just leads back to the ruin. So in which case, just a mosey in this direction. Then that's back down to the wreck of the Nautiloid. So yeah, nowhere to go but north. But if I could go, yeah, a little bit to the west here. Yeah, just keep your eyes open for a path that goes to the west. Because that's just down to, yeah, the Nautiloid again.
We should check it out.
Yeah, it's got to be... oh.
Be careful.
Hang on, what you mean? Wait. I think I just walked into something. Something bad is happening. And before it happens... okay, very quickly level up Lae'zel, because I forgot to level up Lae'zel. The game just drops an autosave, which makes me think of bad things about to occur. So, right, Lae'zel's now got loads of health. Brilliant. Also, action surge, so she can do more than one action in a turn. Brilliant. That's literally it. Fighters are not complicated, as it turns out.
Open up, or I'll break the bloody thing down!
Oh, yeah, there's some sort of drama going on with that there gate, so I suspect we're walking into some unpleasantness in just a flipping second. So, okay. I would say, given we've now got a good solid lead to sort out this tadpole situation, how about we call it a part there? But next time, well, obviously, we need to go and investigate why those people are yelling at that gate. But on top of that, yes, we've got plenty of business to get on with around here. We've got a treasure to locate somewhere very nearby to us, in fact. And thanks to Lae'zel, a properly to follow up on related to the main quest. So, okay, we could potentially make some good progress on the tadpole situation. I strongly suspect there's going to be a lot to distract me between me and my new friend Zoru. So, hopefully, you're looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerds, and this has been the wonderful Baldur Gate 3. Thank you very much, and goodbye. So, okay, I've been outwitted by a butterfly and beaten up by a fish.
Stop right there, criminal scum!
I didn't steal anything! I'm sorry, I touched the shoes while I was shoe shopping! Okay, I feel like I may have just, walked in on something. What about this person? Can we talk to this person?